Don't cause any trouble.
If you have the rock...
Is that my beautiful shipment?
First.
You were right about this one, Masako. Looks like it. This should be more than enough. Now, I shall excuse myself and get to work on finalizing this prototype.
So, what did you learn about CM Station RC-1? Lucas must be desperate if he hired them to collect the Rothicite. Were there any survivors? Seeking Ecliptic on a station with nothing but miners and scientists? Corporations can sink low, but this is a new level. Now, I also had a report that you were spotted at the clinic. I take it you traced the shipment there? I figured it was related. And were you able to determine the purpose of this secure wing? So, it sounds like Lucas has reached a new level of desperation to ensure his future as CEO.
To hell with corporations and CEOs and profit margins. People have died, and you aren't showing the least bit of remorse. Ugh.
I'll make sure Yuko's team extracts every bit of information they can from the clinic's database on this. Between hiring Ecliptic and unauthorized human trials, we have enough to take Lucas down for good. And with the Rothicite secure, it's almost time for us to make our move. It certainly is. And it's also time to inform the rest of the board on the current situation. Head up to the executive floor and speak to Dalton. He has an update for you on the mole's identity. I've called a meeting, and I expect you to attend. It's time to put the final plan in motion.
This could be the most important.
Don't wander into any restricted area.
Good. You're right on time. I reevaluated all the evidence. It took every resource I had, but the final answer is clear. Ularu is the mole. Indeed. I've briefed Masako and discussed her plans on handling this. While we both agree Ularu is guilty, we need irrefutable evidence before presenting this to the board. For now, we lead everyone to believe that Imogene was the mole, and the situation was dealt with. The people we're dealing with will expect nothing less. Masako has tasked Ularu with writing the program to bring down Infinity Ltd. We believe she'll take the chance to incriminate Masako within the program, so this could provide the evidence we're looking for. You will be tasked with the assignment to infiltrate Infinity, so before you go, I want you to bring that program to me. I can't imagine a more satisfying ending. Now, let's attend a meeting.
Hey there. Glad to see you again. All right, but be careful.
We called you all together to discuss a recent security breach. We discovered a mole within the company who leaked vital information about Project Dominion to Infinity Ltd.
You've got to be kidding me.
Just don't tell me it's Vina. I think we've all noticed she's not here.
Before you speculate any further, no, it's not Vina. The guilty party is Imogene Salzo, much to my disappointment. Our operative here obtained the evidence to confirm it.
Dalton, how does something like this happen?
Imogene is highly trained. Ularu can even speak to that. We demand the best. So that's the threat we deal with.
I may have well-trained operatives, but security is your responsibility, Dalton. This is a huge failing on your part.
I accept the responsibility, but let's not forget, the mole has already been exposed and dealt with.
Of course, thanks to another of my operatives. Watch me.
Imogene's been dealt with, so bickering is pointless. All I care about is reacquiring our property and what this might be costing us financially.
Vina is completing the internal neuroamp prototype as we speak. Our operative will receive the implant, infiltrate Infinity Ltd, and obtain any and all research. I have it on good authority the experimentations they've done to replicate the missing pieces of our work have resulted in fatalities.
Botched human trials and murder for hire? You don't bounce back from that. At least not with Infinity's legal team.
If I may make a suggestion, we should give this evidence to David at SSNN. It's the best neutral method of releasing this information to the general public.
That'd make my job easier.
David it is, then.
Misako, the internal neuroamp is ready if you want to send down the candidate.
I hope you're ready for this. And that's precisely why I know we can count on you. Vina will be waiting for you in the neuroamp division in R&D. Once you're done, meet me in my office. Be ready to discuss the details of your next assignment.
So, what's new with you today? All right, let's go.
If you're waiting for an appointment, please have a seat. Are you sure you're okay? You left pretty fast.
I have to admit, I'm a bit jealous of Ryujin's gorgeous design aesthetic. Or perhaps the fact that the neuroamp can control and manipulate people against their will is disgusting. The device shouldn't be allowed to exist. Not on your mind? I'll be right here.
Hey there. Ah, here's my lucky candidate. I hope you're ready to embark on one amazing journey. Yes, I always love a willing subject. Now, just a few details before we begin. Obviously, we'll be putting you under. I'll be making a small incision in the back of your skull where the internal neuroamp will be fitted. The whole procedure should only take 3 to 4 hours with little to no downtime afterwards, provided DeMarcus got everything entered correctly.
Did I not just say I quadruple-checked the numbers?
You know I'm just giving you a hard time. Besides, I've got to make sure my patient is reassured. Of course. We've got, what, 5 PhDs between the two of us?
6, but who's counting?
All I'm saying is that you're in good hands. Now, Just lie down on the table once you're ready, and we should be good to go.
I am not permitted to perform medical practices without human oversight.
All right, let's get this party started. Well, look who's finally up. The operation was a success, obviously. Once you're able to refocus, let me know how you're doing. So, how are you feeling? You look good? That's exactly what we want. Just a couple quick notes before using the internal neuroamp. First, you can only influence one person at a time. And second, the effect is temporary, so be prepared if you use it in a combat situation. Great. Now let's test this sucker out. DeMarcus has graciously volunteered for science, he says. That's the spirit. DeMarcus loves being hands-on and experiencing things on his own. It's probably why he's the second most published scientist here, after me. Just head up the stairs nearby to the observation deck.
I have performed a cursory scan of your vital signs. You are currently alive.
Oh my god, that was incredible. What was it like?
Wow. How to describe it? 1 minute I was excited about seeing how the experiment would go. The next, I had a brief moment of disorientation and figured I must have lost my train of thought. It felt eerily natural. And yes, I admit it, just as you predicted.
I knew it, I knew it, I knew it! I can hardly wait to finish writing up my latest dissertation. And you owe me 100 creds.
I'll be keeping myself under constant surveillance now, curious if any other side effects may manifest.
So, tell me all about it. How did it feel? Any side effects? Well, I'd leave that up for Alexis and Lyndon to decide. Compensation's not really my thing. Yes! Good. Hear that, DeMarcus? That's 2 for 2 now.
I heard. It really was fascinating how all I experienced was a moment of disorientation. It's truly remarkable tech. When it comes to your job, you bet it does. Besides, the neuroamp isn't total control. If a subject's morals or beliefs in something are strong enough, we still see points of failure. That being said, it's been interesting to discover the actions our subjects sanction in their own minds.
Okay. As much as I'd love to go over the details and potential of this amazing piece of technology I created, Masako wants to see you. It sounds like you have an assignment to complete, and DeMarcus and I have a lot of notes to record.
Didn't Vina say Masako wants to see you?
You don't smell electrical smoke, do you?
If you need something, I've got your back. Sounds good? Lead on.
We take a lot of pride in our work up here in R&D.
I will not tolerate the theft of any nearby objects.
My company's future might be riding on this deal.
Happy to listen. Hurry back.
Keep out of my way.
Good, you're here. I wasn't sure how accurate Vina's promise of no downtime was going to be.
Let's just hope her promise of no brain damage holds true as well.
Now that you've been outfitted with the internal neuroamp, it's time to put that tech to work. We're sending you into Infinity Ltd. Lucas Drexler is about to learn exactly why you don't steal from Ryujin Industries. And wish he shall, every day, while he rots away in prison. All right. Yuko has provided a layout of Infinity Ltd. You have 2 options for this assignment. We'll be providing you with the means for both. Option A, you gain entry through their maintenance access on the roof. Option B, we give you an assigned identity and arrange a meeting for you. Option A, you need to remain under the radar the entire time. Option B, you have a slight cover that may give you the opportunity to talk your way to your objectives. Just hope those acting skills don't get you caught or killed. Now, depending on your preference, you'll either find yourself in the maintenance hallway or the marketing department. From there, you have 3 targets. First, you have Lucas Drexler's computer, located in his office on the executive floor. Second is Faye Sengsavan's computer in research and development. And third, you need to obtain the prototype they are working on, also in R&D.
As you can see, you've several floors to traverse, so I hope you're prepared for an adventure.
You'll only have free range on the marketing floor. Infinity may be cheap, but they know at least some level of security is needed in this business. That's what we're counting on. Now, I had Ularu create a program that you need to run on both Lucas and Faye's computers. I'll let her explain the details.
You see, once we expose Infinity Ltd, all of their data is going to come under intense scrutiny. We only want the public to know about their mercenary hires and unauthorized human trials, but Project Dominion needs to remain confidential. I've created an overseer program that will gather all the evidence we need, and at the same time delete anything relating to Ryujin and the internal neuroamp. Please do. I hate to think we're putting our faith in the wrong operative.
With tech like that, I can see why you'd want to maintain control of the narrative, though I strongly object to the methods.
If the media were to draw their own conclusions, I'm certain they'd just create a panic among people. Controlling the narrative is of the utmost importance.
Oh, let's just hope this program is as thorough as you say then, and as safe.
No, we don't want to mess on this one. A body count will only distract from what we're trying to accomplish here. In fact, unless they're a master at being one with the shadows, I'd suggest you leave your friend behind. Lower the risk. Simon Ryujin provided some useful info on how to evacuate civilians from the building. I'm sure you remember him from Sidonia. Infinity's maintenance crew is understaffed. It's only a matter of time before pressure gauges go unchecked and they have a massive issue on their hands. Once that pressure becomes too much, every floor in the building is going to suffer from gas leaks, setting off an automated alarm to evacuate the building. Simon was able to get a passcode for you to access their system's computer, so you can force the heating system to fail. I'd highly advise you use it. This assignment isn't the time to test your abilities. The only thing you're out there to prove is that you can get this job done. We're also issuing you an operative suit. It should help reduce their ability to detect you. These suits are typically reserved for the senior ranks, but we want to reduce as much risk as possible. Just make sure you follow through on that statement.
Once you've run the Overseer program and obtained the prototype, your final step is to deliver the slate to David Barron at the SSNN field office. If he asks questions, feel free to give him just enough information to pique his interest, but no mention of Ryujin or who you are. SSNN is used to anonymous tips. They'll do whatever verifications they deem necessary on their own to confirm the story. Good. I guarantee the moment he scratches the surface on that story, you'll have a broadcast sent to every system. So, any final questions before you go? Depending on whether or not you evacuate the building, you'll mostly be looking at security guards, much like we have here. You may encounter an automated defense system in the form of turrets as well, so be careful. You'll be restricted to the marketing floor. An appointment is not a free pass. Good luck, and be sure to report directly back to me when you return.
Here's Simon's passcode, your operative suit, the Overseer program, and your cover identity. Your cover ID card is encoded with roof entry and elevator access, so that's your ticket in, either way. Don't screw this up, Skylar Lumen.
If you want help, I'm here. Sure, I'm right behind you.
They know how to make a client feel welcome.
Do you have the program? With pleasure. So, let's take a look. Aha. The decryptions hit a snag. There's definitely something here. This is exactly what we needed. According to this code, Ularu intended to plant false evidence that would show Masako was working with Lucas. The moment you launched the Overseer program, a series of fabricated communication files would have been uploaded to the Infinity LTD network. One of them even frames Masako for encouraging Lucas to push for early human trials.
First Imogene, now Masako. Ularu keeps using people as rungs on the way up the ladder. Any one of us could be next.
I'm going to copy the necessary files off this slate and issue you a new one. I want to keep this one intact, so Ularu can't dispute it. All right. Now, we finally have the evidence we need to prove Ularu's guilt.
Good. Then let's nail Ularu right to the wall. She deserves everything that's coming her way.
Yes, I'm looking forward to putting this all behind us. Without that falsified evidence, Ularu is in for a big surprise. I fully expect she'll be eagerly awaiting SSNN's broadcast, anticipating Masako to be accused alongside Lucas Drexler. Here's the new slate with the revised Overseer program. Let's get this assignment finished the right way.
So, were you eating at the Sage Brook, or is it just a quick snap from the Terra Brew?
My partner's had a nasty cold, so I've just been taking care of it.
Wish that bartender at the viewpoint would stop complaining to security. I don't know what she lost, but she won't get it back by annoying us. Hey there.
Don't be nervous. You got this.
Welcome to Infinity LTD's corporate headquarters.
Infinity.
Hello. Did you have an appointment with us today?
They need people like you.
Ah, yes, from Lumen Interactive. The elevator here will take you to the marketing floor. Once you arrive, you'll want to talk to Ellis Ortiz. He's the receptionist there and will be happy to help you.
I can see how you made a cheerleader.
Go! Tip up!
Welcome to Infinity LTD's marketing department. Desi notified me that you were on your way. Make yourself comfortable. If you just have a seat, I can notify Miss Hart that you've arrived. I'll go notify Miss Hart that you're here. Feel free to use any of the facilities on the floor while you wait. The break room and bathrooms are just around the corner.
If I can help you with anything, just say the word. We should get a drink sometime.
All non-essential personnel must evacuate the building. Please find the nearest exit and contact emergency services.
can't go in. You just can't.
Administrations come and go in the big city, but SSNN
I hate to
is
break
here
it
to stay.
but his PA
Can I help you?
Mr. Barron's a very busy and important man.
Well, I'll be the judge of that. What's this so-called story about?
Listen, I might be able to hook you up with some merch. Maybe get you a ticket to a speaking gig he's got.
Intriguing. Anytime we get a new story like this, they always lack the evidence to back it up. Good. The less investigation we need to put into this, the faster I can prepare the broadcast. I don't suppose you want to tell me how you got this evidence. I figured as much. Maybe your friend here would care to comment?
My colleague has said everything you need to know, but on a personal note, I'd like to add that the corporate world is definitely not for me.
I see. Is there at least a name I can cite as my source? Why am I not surprised? As long as the evidence is adequate and verifiable, I expect it'll be aired within the hour, if not sooner. Now, if you'll excuse me, I obviously have some work to do.
Let's, stay away from Ebside. The locals there don't exactly appreciate the tourists.
If this ship doesn't
Don't wander into any restricted areas.
Don't cause any trouble.
I believe you were specifically told that we did not want a body count on this assignment. Your best is sorely lacking. All the tools at your disposal, and yet here we are. I hope you at least attempted to use the internal neuroamp. And yet not useful enough to avoid a body count? Still, it's good to know the applications are proving themselves. So now it's just a waiting game for SSNN to break the news. Once the story airs, we have another board meeting scheduled to decide how to handle Infinity. Go ahead, Maeve.
The SSNN broadcast has started. Shall I patch it through?
Yes, thank you.
The murders are believed to be linked to a new investigation where Drexler would have been accused of numerous violations, including murder for hire, unauthorized human trials, and corporate theft. Authorities representing the UC and the Freestar Collective have been dispatched to a consolidated mining station and the clinic. Both locations are believed to hold numerous victims. Drexler's motivation appears to be an attempt to launch a new product based off stolen information from a competitor. The details on the project itself and the competitor have yet to be confirmed. This has been David Barron for SSNN.
Perfect. This exposure puts Infinity right where we want them. The meeting will begin momentarily, but I want you to discuss the options we have with the other members. Infinity's net worth is about to hit rock bottom, so this gives us the opportunity to win a little more public faith. Quite right. The truth is, we'll be making evaluations. We'll shed any employees who don't make the cut, slowly but surely. By incorporating Infinity, we eliminate a competitor, get their best employees and contracts, and all while boosting our public perception.
Shed any employees. Ugh. Terminology like that, where you reference manipulating people's lives. Oh, it makes my skin crawl.
I'm glad we're on the same page. Which is why I'd like you to talk to the board to convince them this is the right move. There are several who might disagree, and you have the perfect tool to help sway them. With the tech we've given you, I expect promises. You'll find most of the board members in their offices preparing. Vina is also here, waiting for the meeting to start. We'll need at least 50% of the vote to go our way. In the event of a tie, I will make the final decision. I trust you'll get it done.
Keep out of my way, and I'll keep out of yours.
Did Masako send you to try and convince me to acquire Infinity Ltd? I think we both know that's not going to work. Our public perception is good enough. If you ask me, reaching out to save Infinity just makes us look weak. The internal neuroamp gives us the power to crush our competitors, not take them under our wing. This is exactly why Masako's time as CEO is finished. That neuroamp is a breakthrough. It gives us the edge in any situation, so get used to it. Besides, most on the board would agree. So why not use it to seal Infinity's fate? Well, it does make Ryujin look good, and we do gain a wider customer base, which means higher profits. You're oddly right about this one, Op. I guess you are worth keeping around. As long as everyone has Ryujin's best interests in mind, this should make for an interesting meeting. An issue? That would be a foolish move. Dalton and Alexis are the only two against it. You'd never get the rest to shut it down. Please. Ryujin's best interests are long-term success and growing profits. The internal neuroamp provides both. Now, if you'll excuse me, I still have a lot of preparations to make.
Ooh, look at that. Your surgical wound's healing like a dream. And how's my favorite patient doing? Not seeing any temporal memory flashes or losing time, I hope. That's great. I'd say Project Dominion is ready for legitimate human trials in that case. One step closer to seeing market approval. Genevieve is going to be so excited. So, tell me what you think of the neuroamp. I hope you're not actually suggesting that the technology I spent years working on and perfecting never sees the light of day. This is groundbreaking work. My life's work. Fine. Make your case. You really think they could come after me? Well, perhaps I really do need more data. It could definitely do a lot of damage in the wrong hands. Well, this conversation's made me feel like a proper monster. But you're right. In a perfect world, tech like this is used for good. But this world is far from perfect. It is. It really is. For years, my only focus has been, is this possible? And then, how do I make it work? I never stopped to consider if it was right, or what it would mean. I guess it'll be up to a vote either way. It's not on the meeting agenda, so I assume you'll bring it up yourself? We just have to hope the others will see reason. So the next question is, what will the fate of Infinity Ltd be? Exactly. Not that I want to gloat over it. Maybe just a little. Okay, so DeMarcus and I have really been looking forward to it, so fingers crossed this deal goes through. Well, this has certainly been the most interesting conversation of my day. All we can do now is look forward to the meeting, right? See you in there.
So much work to do. Great, the bane of my department. If you need something, make it quick. Not much to discuss there. I believe I've made my case quite clear to Masako on why I am against it. All right, I could use the entertainment. Tell me why Infinity is a good asset. When it comes to profit, I suppose all my arguments do fall short. My team can handle anything. I see your point. Huh. Well, what do you know? I think you just convinced me. Talent like yours belongs in the courtroom. Don't even get me started. First off, if I find out you used that device on me, I will tie you up in court on whatever charges I can conjure for the rest of your life. Second, that tech is one major human rights violation that no legal team wants to fight. I'll do whatever I can to make sure it's either severely delayed or collects dust in storage. Well, I'm both glad and surprised to hear the one person who has one say that. Masako's lucky to have you at her disposal, even if you are a continual thorn in my side. You may be the greatest asset, aside from the internal neuroamp, that Ryujin has. This exchange has been surprisingly insightful, but now I really do need to get back to my notes.
This meeting should prove to be very interesting. I assume Masako briefed you on her preferred outcome. With that internal neuro app, no doubt.
Indeed. That technology shouldn't be used for such nefarious purposes, or in fact, any purposes at all.
If it were up to me, I'd have shut down Project Dominion a long time ago. I knew it was a grave security risk, and look what happened. You read my mind. Let's just hope Masako and the others see it that way. Plus, if we vote to acquire Infinity Ltd, we're about to add a significant workload onto my team. The last thing I want to deal with are any more incidents this new neuroamp might cause. I imagine we're looking at months of work. Infinity Ltd is obviously not known for their security. I only hope that Masako and the others will be patient with the process. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some preparations to make. We'll be announcing Ularu's termination of employment at this meeting, so I need to have security ready to escort her off the premises.
When you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you.
Is Masako checking up on me to make sure I'm on her side? Well, you can let Masako know to rest easy. It just so happens that her agenda lines up with mine. We just need to grab Infinity LTD while it's got the public's full attention. I'm all about free PR, especially when it's painting us in a good light. I'm sure I can squeeze enough goodwill out of this to last us at least a year. Sounds like you've got a bit of your own agenda going on. Well, let's hear it. The possible backlash on tech like this is not lost on me. However, the internal neuroamp will define the next era of tech, with Ryujin at the forefront. It's not an opportunity you just walk away from. Not when you word it like that. But a product that can settle disputes or help broaden someone's point of view? Then you really have something that consumers will buy into. Well, it seems your talents really do stretch beyond just being an operative. Good talk. Maybe I'll even consult you on future endeavors.
You operatives really will wear anything. Just the person I wanted to see. I want to get all the details locked down for this meeting, and I believe you to be one of the best sources available. Good. I prefer first-hand feedback when available. You've had the chance to encounter members of Infinity LTD throughout your assignments here. Do you think they're worth redemption? And why? Oh, I didn't mean in regards to Drexler's actions. More in the sense of, should a superior company like Ryujin make room for so many potentially lackluster employees? That is a plea more well spent on Genevieve or Alexis. I prefer to focus on the numbers and leave emotions out of my decision-making. Your disdain is noted. And perhaps you thought I'd care because you're hopeful. Next question. What is your opinion on how Masako handled the mole situation? And why do you feel it was well handled? Please note I'm not disagreeing. I just want to know the why behind your statement. Maintaining one's reason in a time of panic speaks volumes about a person's capabilities. I appreciate the insight. I suppose I should ask if there's anything I can do for you, considering how helpful you've been. It's only dangerous to those who can't afford one, hence the added motivation that will bolster sales. I think we all know how averse I am to chaos. Finances are my forte, so you make a good point. Our competition has yet to truly master neuroamps, but the possibility is there. It's a risk I am unwilling to take. At this time. This has been rather enlightening for me. I appreciate the time.
I have something I need to discuss with you.
All right, everyone. As you all know, we've successfully exposed Infinity Ltd's botched human trials and murder for hire through SSNN. The public is demanding their leadership, namely Lucas Drexler, face trial, and he's probably writing his resignation as we speak. Ryujin will be launching a statement, but I believe now is the perfect time to acquire Infinity Ltd.
Believe it or not, I agree. The acquisition has risks, and it's going to create a lot of work for all of us. But the overall payoff will be worth it.
Legal ramifications are a certainty, but the benefits far outweigh the disadvantages.
Arguments?
Infinity Ltd. could be the Pandora's box of financial and legal risks. I simply cannot support an acquisition.
I think what we're all overlooking is what led us to this situation to begin with. Yes, our security was compromised. But considering Dalton was hired by Masako, the issue obviously starts at the top. In fact, I propose that Masako be removed from CEO altogether.
Ularu, this isn't a line you want to cross.
And considering you're the mole, if anyone's going to be removed from power, it's going to be you.
Hold up. Are you saying you lied to us?
Dalton, the last meeting we had, you distinctly said Imogene was the mole, and she'd been dealt with.
Do you even have any proof to back up this outrageous claim?
Of course we do. The malicious code you hid on this slate to upload incriminating evidence against Masako onto Lucas Drexler's computer.
To put it bluntly, Ularu, you're fired. Security will hold you in your office until a proper exit interview can be done.
This isn't right. I should at least have the opportunity to resign.
And allow you to still be marketable to a competitor? I don't think so. This may be news to me, and I will be reviewing the evidence closely. But this isn't something you just get to walk away from.
Security, escort Miss Chen to her office and see that she stays put.
You'll regret this. All of you.
I believe the only regret would be trusting you to begin with.
All right, back to business. All in favor of acquiring Infinity Ltd?
Aye.
All against?
Nay.
Good. Alexis, start drawing up the necessary documentation. Anyone have anything else they'd like to bring up? The internal neuroamp is a key component of Ryujin Industries' success for the next 10 years, if not more. Why would we shelve it after we've finally perfected it?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but she's right. Regardless of the pros, the cons are too morally and ethically irresponsible to move forward with.
I must agree. We can't go through with production on technology like this until certain safeties can be guaranteed.
Very well. All in favor of shelving Project Dominion?
Aye. Nay.
Vina, prep Project Dominion for storage. Any other matters to bring forth? None? This concludes our order of business for today.
If only there were more hours in the day.
You're looking interesting today.
Shelving the internal neuroamp. Not the outcome I anticipated. A fine point, but it still proves its usefulness. The truth remains, Lucas Drexler learned a hard lesson, and we exposed a traitor among us. You've proven yourself to be quite the asset here at Ryujin. I suppose it is. Gratitude isn't something you typically hear these days in the corporate world. I truly appreciate the work you put into exposing Ularu. No operative has ever had to investigate our own to the extent that you did. I can imagine it may have been a lot of pressure, considering you were fairly new at the time.
Yes, I'm proud of you as well. Ularu needed to be brought down. If you wouldn't have stopped her, who knows what she would have done next.
Imogene's instincts were right about you. Now, as promised, I have your bonus. I hope you'll find it appropriate for all you've done. And I'm promoting you to senior operative. You've more than earned it. It's well deserved. As for the details, I think someone back on the operations floor would prefer to explain those to you.
We should have a talk, when you have the time, of course.
Ryujin's CEO is no joke.
I have something I need to discuss with you. Looks like some sort of checkpoint ahead. It's probably designed to suck the credits directly from your pocket. See that shroud covering me on? Believe it or not, you're looking at the only city in the settled systems that powers itself from vision. When you have the time, of course. Suppose I have time for a nap. When you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you.
What did you need? I suppose now you can add climbing the corporate ladder to your list of accomplishments. I think it is perhaps for the best that the research program will come to an end. Where that neuroamp technology could lead, there are many bad outcomes. Too many. Except you, perhaps. You do still have one in your head. I consider this to be a much safer outcome than nearly any other. And before you joke, yes, that is a compliment. And if you are the only one with this neuroamp, I know exactly who to keep an eye on. I suggest you keep that in mind. With the neuroamp matter settled, we should move on to other things, yes?
So, I've given everything we've discussed a lot of thought, and I've decided I'd like Aja Mamasa to conduct our marriage ceremony. I knew you'd understand. So, with that settled, I suppose we just keep it a quiet ceremony? Just the two of us? Honestly, no. I respect everyone at Constellation, but this is part of my personal life. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to keep my personal feelings about us separate from Constellation. Oh, that's sweet of you to suggest, but I think bringing Sona all the way to Aja's home would be too much anxiety for the poor girl. We need to give her some time. If anyone else had suggested that, I'd say no. But hearing it from you, I know in my heart that it's the right thing to do. I'll send her an invite and we'll see if she shows. Anyone else? Or will the three of us with Aja presiding be enough? All right, it's settled then. I'll send a message to Aja asking for her to preside over the ceremony. As soon as you're ready, let's head to Paradiso. I can't tell you how much this means to me. I love you.
There's something I need to talk to you about.
Handling those tricky decisions regarding Ryujin must have been difficult. In fact, I'm amazed you were able to deal with them at all. Those types of corporations remind me why I never ventured into business. I can't stand that way of life. It is disgusting. And I'm pleased you recognized that Ryujin almost made a grievous error in judgment. After all, based on your recommendation, they've ceased their work on that disturbing neuroamp technology. Why wouldn't I be pleased about your decision? Can you imagine if that technology had fallen into the wrong hands? The awful things you could force people to do. Oh, it's terribly frightening. Yes, quite. Well, I've certainly taken up enough of your time. Thanks for letting me get that off my mind. Look at this world. It's beautiful. Just beautiful. As we were landing, I picked up a message from Aja. She said to meet us at the park overlooking the ocean. Before we go to the ceremony, I want you to look me in the eyes and tell me this is exactly what you want.
But this time, our entries seem to take long.
I just melt when I hear you say things like that to me. I love you, and I'm forever thankful to have someone as amazing as you in my life. Now come on, Aja is waiting for us. But first, we should probably say something to my mother.
15% discount on spa amenities. Once again, we are dreadfully sorry.
It's okay, kid. I know you're programmed to be overly concerned with your service. I just wanted to know why.
Oh, Paradiso is absolutely beautiful. Can you possibly imagine a more tranquil place for a resort?
No major incidents in a while. Let's hope it stays that way.
This is even better than in the brochure.
It certainly was nice of you to think of me when sending invitations to my daughter's wedding.
It's good to see you too, Mum.
I just wish you would have given me more notice. Or maybe some time to get to know your dear partner. I barely even know her name. Yes, good to meet you too, my dear. If only my daughter had thought to introduce us sooner. We could have built more of a rapport before this big day.
We'll have plenty of time to talk more later, I'm sure, after the ceremony. Anyway, I'm sorry, Mum. I know how this must all seem to you. This was a sudden decision, and we didn't want to waste any more time. We wanted to keep the ceremony small and involve only the people I care about the most.
Sarah, dear. I hope you know that I am delighted to be here, to see you finally get married. It's been a long time coming, and I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Thank you for coming, Mum. We'll be sure to talk more in a bit. But for now, let's not keep poor Aja waiting.
Just a few moments for everyone to take their places. It's so lovely to see you, Sarah.
It's wonderful to see you too, Aja. This is the one I told you about.
I've heard a lot about you. All of it good. You're quite a catch.
10 seconds in and already you're embarrassing everyone.
Before we go any further, I just want to make sure that you are right for Sarah. She's quite special, hmm?
Oh, God. Now you're embarrassing me.
That's called love, my dear. You better get used to it. Well, I've seen enough. I can read people the moment I lay eyes on them. And you're going to make Sarah quite happy.
Coming from you, Aja, that means a lot.
Of course, Sarah. You know I always look out for you. Now, are we ready to begin the ceremony? Very well. If everyone's ready, then I'll begin. It's been years since Sarah Morgan and I have spoken. And though it might appear that we've grown apart, I feel that we've become closer friends than ever before. When I received the message with Sarah's intent to marry, and that she wanted me to officiate the ceremony, I was overwhelmed with joy. Not because she had decided to rekindle our friendship, but because she was allowing me to share the happiest moment of her life. I can't imagine a greater honor. And for that, Sarah, I thank you.
I wouldn't have had it any other way, Aja.
Before you present your vows, I'd ask both of you to remember that love is what brought you together today. It is a foundation upon which a structure of trust, faith, and affirmation is built. This structure can be absolutely impenetrable if you both agree to love each other unconditionally, with faith, devotion, and acceptance. And most importantly, to allow yourself to be loved. Remember, there are no other bonds more meaningful than the one you are undertaking today. You should cherish this moment and hold it close to your hearts as a reminder of the love you share. If you both are willing to abide by these words, then you can be assured that your lives will be filled with joy and happiness forever.
That was beautiful, Aja. Thank you.
Did you need a moment, Sarah?
No, I'm fine. But I wanted to say something before you continue. When we stood beside that waterfall in New Atlantis, you told me that I deserve to be with someone who understands my feelings. It was at that very moment I realized I wanted to spend the rest of my life with you. Your love means everything to me. And I swear to return that love freely and unconditionally, without hesitation. This is my solemn pledge to you. From deep within my heart, from deep within my soul, for all eternity.
And you? Did you have anything you wanted to say to Sarah?
I know it will. I don't deserve someone as special as you.
You had a gift, Sarah?
Yes. I wanted you to have this as a token of our love. I'm giving this to you as a symbol of the clean break I've made from my past. Oh, it would have been impossible without your help. And for that, I'll be forever grateful.
With these promises of affection and these vows you've exchanged, by the power vested in me by the Articles of Constellation, I happily pronounce you life mates. Congratulations!
Aja, I don't know what to say. That was... oh, amazing. I couldn't imagine having this ceremony without you.
I'm glad everything worked out for you, Sarah. I'm only sorry that we waited so long to reach out and contact one another. It was my pleasure. Well, you're both welcome to stay here for as long as you like. Sarah, your mother will be staying here with me for a few weeks. We've actually got a lot more in common than I expected. So, I guess this is goodbye for now. I wish the both of you a happy and healthy life together.
I'll never forget this, Aja. Thank you.
It was a wonderful wedding. I was so happy to officiate for you.
If something's on your mind, you can tell me. I thought you'd never ask. Here. Bye, love.
You and my Sarah deserves someone special in her life. I'm glad she found you. It was not quite what I had imagined for Sarah. I thought it would be a grand affair with hundreds of friends and extended family gathered to celebrate. But given her history, I should say I'm not entirely surprised she chose something completely different. However, despite that, I must say that this was truly something special. It was quite splendid. Just the two of you, myself, and Aja. From the bottom of my heart. Thank you again for having me.
Oh, gosh, really? We're doing this, are we?
Oh, can I? When Sarah was 6, I believe, she lost her second tooth, but this time she actually lost it. I forget how it happened exactly, but it ended up going out with the waste as we were flying between Jemison and... oh, I forget where. It's not important. She was so distraught. Mummy, what if the Tooth Fairy doesn't know I lost a tooth and doesn't come? She cried. So I told her to write a note and leave it under her pillow for the Tooth Fairy. So she ended up explaining what had happened and begged the Tooth Fairy for a spaceship so she could go off and find her lost tooth for her. It was adorable.
Thanks, Mother. Just... thanks for that.
Mostly the physical distance between us. It wasn't intentional, I'll have you know. Our lives simply diverged as she grew older. You may not know this, but we had different plans for her when she was growing up. I've since come to terms and accepted that she didn't want to follow in her parents' footsteps. Perhaps... she needs to hear it from me. I need to make it more clear to her that I'm proud of her, regardless of her choices. I need to, if I want to be closer to my daughter and her new partner. Bye then, dear.